Please welcome Katie Ray, CEO and Managing Partner of The Engine.
When we arrive, sons and daughters will make our homes.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 4th Annual Tough Tech Summit. While I am sad not to be in person with everyone again this year, it won't stop us from having a great set of discussions and learning from each other. The day ahead is full of thought leaders, visionary founders, and experts who are working hard to tackle climate change, radically improve human health, and make our systems smarter and more resilient. Wow, what a year it has been. When I looked back at the CDC COVID timeline, it is hard to believe that it was a year ago that the world was filled with uncertainty and frankly scared. There was so much doubt about what the future would bring. 1 year ago, the president was recovering from COVID. No one was vaccinated except those in clinical trials. Only essential workers were in person. Fires were raging in California, and we were in the middle of a presidential election with a lot at stake. But what was this tough tech community doing? We were following the science, pitching in to help everyone understand how they could continue to build their companies more quickly while still in lockdown. We were keeping each other safe. Did we stop? No, we did not. Tough tech founders were taking equipment home to their basements and building pieces of machines. Scientists and engineers were working around the clock to keep the labs open with low human count and social distancing, and still getting their work done. Startups were rapidly learning from each other about the rules, how to handle risk, deal with their boards, hire people, and rounds of venture capital were being raised. Why? Because the thing tough tech startups were building are important. COVID showed us this. The persistent rise in temperature, fires, flood, and climate change showed us this. Our supply chain and advanced system failures showed us this. A year ago, we were getting ready for the next administration, of course, unsure who it would be. Lawmakers were working at a feverish pitch to shape policies that would ensure there are funds for scientific breakthroughs for generations to come. The infrastructure bill was being drafted to give these important discoveries the runway and mechanisms to scale to solve our real problems around climate, health, manufacturing, and supply chains. Everyone I know in this tough tech community worked incredibly hard, often alone or while juggling other important responsibilities, because they care, because they are on a mission to solve urgent problems and use their knowledge for good. Tough tech is like that. We do not wait. The rapid rollout of the vaccine served as a reminder of the importance of science and betting on new, big ideas. mRNA vaccines, funny how that became an everyday phase, were developed in weeks, but on top of decades of hard work, often unrewarding work. For the longest time, they were novel and unproven. What Moderna made real right around the corner from here is because a decade ago, visionary scientists and entrepreneurs said, we've got to start now. We see examples of this all over our community. One of our portfolio companies, Vaxis, had a vision to make vaccines and other medicines more effective and accessible around the world because they don't need a cold chain. Catherine, Livio, and Michael worked for 8 years with grants, philanthropy, and then eventually venture investment to get where they are. It has not been easy. And these types of leaders motivate and inspire me and give me optimism that we will be prepared for the next pandemic. This picture shows you where Commonwealth Fusion's tokamak will live. The space has been created and is ready to be the home of fusion energy. No longer will the joke be that fusion is always 30 years away. It's being built, it's real, and we are less than a decade away from this machine powering the grid with endless clean energy. Or what about via separations? In order to slow or reverse climate change, we're going to have to decarbonize all our industries. VIA is working today in paper mills to do this. It's real and it's in the field, and they will scale to decarbonize many industrial processes in the future. Or look at Mori. Their novel material is keeping all types of food fresh longer and has the potential to not only change access to fresh food, but dramatically reduce single-use packaging. Yes, there is momentum, and some say we're even in a bit of a hype cycle with climate investing. Some of us say it's finally getting its due. But what we do with this momentum is fundamental. We must keep pushing, keep learning from each other to build real and long-term valuable companies, and keep telling the stories to help the world understand why tough tech companies are important and how we are going to scale them. While it may drive what some call hype, it will also drive the growth of important companies with global solutions. I love this. We are gathered so that our learning cycles on how to build and scale shrink. We are gathered to figure out how to use capital wisely to accelerate the speed to market. And we are gathered to inspire each other to find the best path forward. Think about what we have achieved in the last 18 months during this crisis. Think about what we can do over the next decade if we stay focused on solving the climate crisis, health crisis, and making our systems resilient. I have nothing but optimism for our community and world. And thank you for being with us here today and joining in.